Hey guys, one more another video on the Inside Spurs channel. Happy Wednesday, late afternoon / early evening to you all. Obviously, I know I normally give you a heads up when we're going live and things like that, but we have breaking news surrounding Spurs agreeing a deal to sign West Ham attacker Mohamed Kudus. We'll be talking about that, when the medical is, what the deal looks like, the contract length, all that stuff comes with it all. Right, we'll be talking about that. Give him some updated views on it all. We're talking about Romero, Atletico Madrid, and their interest in the Tottenham defender. We're going to be talking about Yoane Wissa again. So plenty of great stuff to get into and talk about. But let's start with the breaking news itself. And it has just come out, I genuinely believe, 8 minutes ago, from David Ornstein, an exclusive. Tottenham Hotspur reached total agreement with West Ham United to sign Mohamed Kudus. The deal for the 24-year-old West Ham forward worth in the region of £55 million. The medical is scheduled on Thursday ahead of the Ghanaian international joining Spurs on a 6-year contract. So, again, there you go. I'll repeat it for anyone that maybe just quickly missed it. Tottenham Hotspur reached total agreement with West Ham United to sign Mohamed Kudus. The deal for the 24-year-old West Ham forward worth in the region of £55 million. The medical scheduled on Thursday ahead of the Ghanaian international joining Tottenham on a 6-year contract. So first and foremost, a long deal, which is obviously good. Structure, all those things. Cheaper than we expected. I think it always sounded like it was going to be 60, 65. It sounds like it's a touch underneath that. So on paper, good business there. Obviously, we haven't decided to spend 85 million, which would have been bonkers. Look, he's an exciting player. He will get you out of your seat. He'll excite you. He will need to now show output. Last season wasn't great on that side of things. The season before maybe was good, but that was 2 years ago. Let's live in the current or the most recent. The output will be needed because we've had other big name signings come in, maybe not hit absolutely outrageous output, and fans have turned on them, which hopefully we don't. So let's be excited. This is the guy that Thomas Frank wanted. We delivered the guy he wanted. You would obviously assume now, looking at going forwards, we obviously now need a clear out. We really, really, really need a clear out. I cannot stress enough how we need, in my estimations, probably 8 to 10 players leaving. That's how many we still need gone, right? So if anyone's sitting there going, oh my God, we need to sign 6 players. Well, okay, we need to then sell 15. So you see how this works? So regardless, though, this was the marquee signing. And if this feels like the marquee signing of the summer for us, I don't think you're going to see us spending more than £50 million on a player now. This looks like this is the marquee signing. As much as I may not be the biggest fan of this deal, at the end of the day, he's 24. He is going to improve. You would hope he improves, obviously, touch wood that he improves. But he should improve. Thomas Frank, like I said, if this is his guy, you deliver the guy that he wants. I've always said it about Conte and Mourinho and Ange and the rest of them. If the manager says, I need these players to deliver on the goals that you want, then you go out there and try and deliver those players to him. And this is a guy that he wanted. Obviously, there was chatter, is Brian Mbuemo that guy? I do have a weird update on that, which I'm going to talk about Yoane Wissa with. But, this is, in theory, great news. How do we all feel on Mohamed Kudus? Even Spurs, Wizard, EZ, Marshall, Saka, Devanch, Sonia, Marfin, Boris, Janice, Nolan, San Antonio Hotspur. By the looks of things, everyone's quite happy. Man, I've missed your sultry tones. EZ, nobody misses those tones, brother. No one misses these tones. It's been a busy week. So I've only literally just come in the door as well. And I saw this news. I was like, I'm so hungry, I want to eat, but I'm going to go live quickly. And hence why there's no run up to us going live. I think, we're all in agreement that he has the ability to be a really exciting player. He will have to do better than he did last season. That's categorically, he needs to do better. 8 goal contributions won't be enough this season. It will need to be a lot more like the first season, potentially even better than that, if I'm honest. There's guys in those squads who our fans hate, who had over 20 goal contributions this season. So 8 is not going to cut it. I have faith that Frank and Kudus can be better, and I'll have faith and in both of them that they will show out and show up. But he needs to minimum double his output from last season, minimum for me. He needs 16 goal contributions and up, because if not, then it's just not an upgrade on what's currently in the squad, and that's the key thing. And the key thing as well, though, is that it's great rotation. He is a great rotation option that we have in there. And someone's going to get annoyed and go, oh my God, you're buying a player 55 million and he's a rotation option. Yeah, every player in that squad should be a rotation option, because rotation is what keeps players fit, keeps them at their high levels, and keeps them playing absolutely at their best. So, yeah, I look at the players that you might love in that squad. And hence why, if you've been a follower of this channel for any amount of time, I have said how much I think Desier Doggy is an absolutely unbelievable left back, but we still need another left back. And it's not a slight on Destiny. I could just do with more bodies at positions to keep them fit. So with this move, obviously, Kulu, let's keep an eye on his injury situation and how he returns. Let's see how, the Odebear and Tell development keeps going on, But again, it's the next sort of couple of weeks are very, very interesting. They're very interesting, So there you go. We have the marquee man signed. So the medical on Thursday. So hopefully Friday we get to see a little bit of promo, holding up the shirt, those wacky D&B whatever promo videos that we do. Or I don't know what they do, but they do, those videos they do, those hype packages. Hopefully we see that Friday, because I know if I go live at the weekend, for whatever reason, someone's going to complain that we've not seen it. Let's hope Spurs do me a favour and don't allow me to suffer out on an island because they haven't done promo quickly. But Van Gogh, my friends. Yes, if you joined late, let me just quickly repeat the David Ornstein tweet. Tottenham Hotspur reach a total agreement with West Ham United to sign Mohamed Kudus. The deal for the 24-year-old West Ham forward is worth in region of £55 million. The medical scheduled on Thursday ahead of the Ghanaian international joining Tottenham Hotspur on a 6-year contract. So contract until the summer of 2031. Bold of an Arsenal fan to tweet back he retired from winning trophies, when that's like the irony. But I can't lie. It's fascinating. It's fascinating where that deal leads, by the way, because I think I think really, where do we go next? Because that's the key thing here, is that I want to think about is where do we go next? Well, we may not have to look too far outside of London for what could be next. Sorry, that was from David Ornstein as well as Fabrizio Romano. This is like definitively, he's rocking up to Spurs Friday, basically. Deal done. Everything done, right? Friday is my guess. I know Spurs hate working over the weekends. Fabrizio Romano, Mohamed Kudus didn't want to negotiate with any other club, only Spurs. Clear intentions as revealed last week, and deal now done. Kudus will be a Spurs player this week. And I think that's the key thing. West Ham were trying to get Chelsea to bid, trying to get other teams to bid because they wanted to drive the price up. And Kudus went, no, I'm not going to Chelsea. I'm not going to other clubs. I'm going to Spurs. If that's the only club I'm going to, that's it. And West Ham went, brilliant. Market's dead then. We can't drive the price up if this guy wants to leave and he's only going to that one place. So we have to now make a deal. And 55 million is actually really cheaper than we were first initially promised. Like I said, West Ham were trying to drive that to 65 and 70. And the irony is Spurs probably went, we're going 55. That's as far as we're going. And Kudus went, I'm only going there. So I don't care what you think about Chelsea. I don't care what you think about any other teams. That's where I'm going. So it forced their hands, So Yeah, like I said, I do think this is the marquee signing. I don't think there's another 60 odd million pound player being signed this summer. Just an FYI, that's my thoughts. But who could be next? Who could be next? Well, Lyle Thomas of Sky Sports 3 hours ago, I was working away, I didn't see it, said that Tottenham are maintaining an interest in Yoane Wissa. Brentford are aware of it, but there's been no direct contact between the clubs over him so far. This key thing, though, this is really interesting. Obviously, this includes Brian Mbeumo. I reported this earlier this summer that Brentford would listen to offers for Wissa and Mbeumo, but difficult for them to sell both this window. So any deal for Wissa would make Mbeumo's proposed move to Manchester United increasingly difficult. One, I still think Mbeumo will go to Manchester United, but Man United they've been publicly negotiating for Mbeumo for what, 6 weeks now? And they've gotten nowhere, right? If Spurs want Wissa, and I think let me just double check Yoane Vissa's contract length. Yoane, Wissa. Where is it? Here it is. So he's 28, he'll be 29 basically by the start of the season in September. He's got 1 year left to his contract. Okay, so he's got 1 year left on his contract. Yeah, 1 year left on his contract, right? He's 29. He'd be good for 3 seasons. I think something like 25 million, maximum 30 million is probably about right. Okay. By the way, I've seen that Paulinho has been linked to Brighton. Whilst I'm here thinking about older players, he's been linked there. And I don't think we're going to be in the Paulinho market. I don't really want to be, to be honest. I'm not bothered about it. But on Wissa, I think Man United will still sign Mbeumo, but they'll end up spending 70 odd million because this is the guy that, Amram really wants. And, they're happy to sell him to Man United, but they want the money that they want. And Man United have basically dicked about the whole summer with it. Spurs could kind of come in and go, how much you want for Wissa? 20, you want 20, 30, you want 30 million? How does 25 sound? Maybe we could do some add-ons even. And they'll go, oh, let's say just hypothetically, it doesn't work like this, but they'll go, okay, yeah, we could do that. Yeah, I think Wissa wouldn't mind the move. Wissa gets a new payday. Gets a Champions League football next season, all those things. And he goes, okay, cool. And the Man United go, all right, we've upped our bids of the money that you wanted for Mbeumo. And Brentford go, are you joking? We've just sold Yoane Wissa. We're whacking him on an extra 10 million now. This is now a 75 million pound deal. It will happen. And the reason why I say that is because Ajax did nearly the exact same thing to Manchester United when they sold Anthony. They could have signed him for 55 million, right? Man United dicked him out all summer. Ajax sold loads of players. There's no need to sell players. Ended up saying you can have him, but he's 85 million. And Man United were the idiots that paid it. So they'll do something similar on that regard, And last time I watched one of your streams, you were about to start a new job. How's it going at the new place? Been there a few weeks now, mate. Been there a few weeks. It's good. Thank you very much. Busy, but good. I probably move house in the next few weeks. So lots of changes, but thanks, mate. I appreciate it. Good memory. Am I crazy for thinking that maybe we don't need a 6 right now? I think we could do the midfielder. I think we could, but that might be a conversation for another day. But look, on Wissa, this season, if people are twerking about 8 goal contributions for Mohamed Kudus, can I interest you this season, right? Let me bring up his stats. In the, I can do all across all competitions, actually. So we'll make it a really in-depth look at his season last year. Actually, it doesn't benefit my cause, but you see what I mean. In 39 games, he had 20 goals and 5 assists. So 25 goal contributions for Brentford. So he has 3 times the amount of goal contributions than Mohamed Kudus. In the Premier League, he played 35 games, 19 goals, 5 assists. He had 24 goal contributions in 35 games. Yeah. He knows Thomas Frank's system. He should be crazy money. I'm on board with this. I'm on board with this deal. I think this could be a great deal. I do. What it means is probably you say to Richarlison, hey, mate, you're done now. You're done. Like, we've got a striker. We've got Tell. You still got Sonny. You got Solanke. We got, obviously, Veliz has gone out on loan to Rosario Central or whatever that's about. You still got Scarlett and Lancashire. Like, mate, you can't stay fit. And as much as you want to stay here, I think it's just time. And, he has a say in it. You can't force him to leave as such, but you can kind of nudge him and say, mate, it's time. Everton probably want you, mate. Like, let's try and get your deal to Everton. We're not going to bleed Everton dry for every penny, but we could get you there. But the way I look at it is, this is an upgrade. He stays fit. He scores. He's cheaper. Why not? Is the deal really confirmed? Yes. Mamo Kudus deal is confirmed. It is, yes. But I like the Wissa deal. I actually liked the Wissa deal back in January when we linked with him. I liked it then. I still like it now. I think it's a good value deal. 3 years, 25 million or something like that. 8 million a year, it sort of works out to. The guy's a proven goal scorer this season in the Premier League. Like, I just have a look at his... In the Premier League, he's played 137 games, 45 goals, 13 assists. So 58 goal contributions. Basically just over one every 2 games. And a lot of those were coming off the bench for Ivan Toney. Brentford didn't get worse after selling Ivan Toney. They probably got better, if I'm honest. So I'm all on board with this. Again, he's one of Frank's guys from last season at Brentford. Who's the manager at Spurs right now? It's the Brentford manager from last season. So this is a guy that can transition really well. He's not moving to the other side of the world. He's moving across City. I think this is a good deal. If we could be in here, I would be on board with this deal. I would be. I think it's good value money as well. It shouldn't break the summer transfer budget. You probably sell Richie and just replace him with Wissa, which isn't crazy to suggest. So I like it personally. I like it. How do we feel about a deal for Yoane Wissa? Would we like Yoane Wissa? Would we hate Yoane Wissa? England women have just scored 1-0. Go on, England women. Go on. Yeah, how do we feel? Whilst I bring up the Romero information, you bloody let me know. You bloody let me know. Where, oh, Romero. Oh, Romero. Yeah, okay, right. So let me read a few of your comments before I move on. If we have Kulu, Madison, Saar, Bergval, Gray, Bentancur, and maybe give Devine or Donnelly or Abbott a chance to help with homegrown numbers. Everton will definitely want him since Calvert-Lewin has gone from Everton. I mean, they'd have to give him stupid money. And Everton, I think, are learning from previous mistakes of we need to stop giving players stupid money. That's the reason why we have financial fair play issues. We've got a new stadium. We've cleared out loads of big wage earners. We've got a brand new, sort of fresh, clean slate now that start to develop and grow. That's the key thing here, So, yeah. This is one of the hardest working players in the Premier League. I don't disagree. I really don't think we need a midfielder. Value for money, I'm okay with this. What a strike that was. It was a good goal, was it? Good stuff. I take Wissa in a heartbeat since we both, Richie and Son, probably leaving this window. What gives us left wing and striker? Everton bought a new striker at the kid from Villarreal. Yeah. West Ham sold to Spurs. That's a new one. Definitely new for a little while. It's been a few years, isn't it? And I'm glad to catch an afternoon stream. Hope you're well. I'm good, Ray. How are you? Hope you're all right. Moving on to Romero flavored news from Romano again, saying that Tottenham have not received any official bid from Atletico Madrid for Romero so far. Spurs have not opened doors to his exit as he's a key player. Atleti talks not advanced now. Romero has just returned from holidays, no agreement on personal terms of any club. So for everything that we hear, Romero's close to leaving, Romero's going to leave, Romero this, Romero that, it's crap. It's all crap, right? That Spanish sources are trying to put out. And the reason why Spanish sources are trying to put it out is because they're trying to drive his value down so Atleti can afford it a bit easier. Discord. Yeah, I can give you a Discord. Where am I? Invite you. Here we go. Here we go. There you go. There's the Discord. I like Brian Bain when he looks to my left. I don't know. The only two rivals in London: Spurs versus Arsenal, Spurs versus Chelsea, Spurs versus West Ham. Oh yeah, the other three love twerking for one another. 55 million, that's still, I'm sorry, but that is 5 million more than 90. Yeah, Madueke being like 50 million, he's doubled in price. Mental. But then he's homegrown, so that's why you got to factor that in. He's homegrown, that's 15, 20 million, you know. I'm happy got Kudus 55 mil. I'm not blown away by Kudus, but it was cheaper than we hoped for, and that's the important thing. And if do you know what? Regardless, if Frank wants him, I want him. And that's the attitude I've had with every manager, no matter what football they've played. If one of our managers wants a player, then we should all want that player as well. Does he have to be your favourite player? No. That's fine. There's nothing wrong in that. Do I think there's probably players that, is there players that I'd have preferred than Kudus? Yeah. But I don't care. I'm not a manager. It's not my decision. Thomas Frank goes, I want Kudus, then I want Kudus with him. All right. Excited for the season again. Spanish sources can stop writing SH1D. Levy, yeah, look, Atleti are trying to drive his market down to make it cheaper. They're having a big sum this summer, spending 200 million. The idea is drive the price down so it saves money that we spend elsewhere, which I love. I absolutely love the confidence. I love the attitude from Atletico. God loves the hopefuls and God loves the triers. You haven't got an absolute chance in hell. You've not got a chance in hell because you're going to annoy Daniel Levy, who's just going to add more and more value to his deal. So there you go. How am I not blown away? Because I'm sitting down. It's not very windy in here. Landing Wissa would be that's awful. Look, it's a good deal for West Ham. Like a guy got 8 goal contributions, you're getting 50 odd million. Like it's a good deal. You can reinvest that money. If you're smart, you can go and get you can get 2 players, get a winger for like 25, 30 million, who's going to give you 10 to 15 goal contributions. That's already great. That's more than what you got previously. Get, 1 or 2 players in, and you start to sack out that squad a bit more. I don't think it's awful for them. If Frank speaks to Romero, yeah, look, Frank will speak to Romero in the next couple of days, what you'd expect. So let's sort of see there, Who do I think Spurs should sign next? I mean, who I want them to sign next is a bloody left back, mate. But I couldn't give you a name. I mean, Wissa, I think, would be a shrewd bit of business. I think Wissa would be a really smart bit of business. And I'm here for a bit of a Yoane Wissa deal. Again, talking 25 odd million, it's not crazy money in today's market. It wouldn't, massively take away from our transfer budget. So, yeah, I think Wissa would be a smart business. And, getting him before Man United get Mbeumo means Man United have to spend more on Mbeumo and they've got less money to spend elsewhere. So, I'd go probably that route personally. Have I seen Kudus play football? Yes. Been looking at Kirkin a little bit. Sunderland are having a mental market. Like, they're signing a Dingra from Brighton today. Like, they are busy in the market. So maybe Kirkin is going to be available. By the sounds of these, Carl Walker-Peters is not the flavour of the month. So maybe Kirkin will be available. We'll see on that. But long way to go on that. But we are actively looking at left backs. That was from the Athletic. We are looking at left backs. I took a massive sigh of relief that we were doing it. As you know, if you've been watching the channel for long enough, how much I've been crying out for another left back. Not a new one. I'm not replacing Destiny Doggy. I just like someone to come in and go, hey, maybe Destiny Doggy doesn't need to play 3 games a week, 90 minutes each. Maybe we just need him, like we play him in the big ones as well. But like, we can rotate and keep him fit and healthy, So there we go. But yeah, on Romero, I don't think Romero's leaving. I really don't, unless Atleti are going to come and offer. And I don't think Spurs take 50 plus 20 million hours. I think Spurs at most would be 65 plus 5. I think they want 70 million up front and then some. That's kind of my thinking. I don't think Romero's leaving. At the start of the summer, I was like, I think he will. And I said, like, Ange goes, Romero's goes. But I think actually, I just can't see it. I can't. The more the days go by, the more I think it's not happening. It's just not happening, So There's that, really. There's that. But, looking at a left back, that was exciting. That was good news. No more Brennan diabolical dribbling. Why are we attacking our players? Why do we put down a player to prop a player up? You could just go, really happy for Kudus. I think he's got magic. Look how easy that was. Didn't even mention Brennan Johnson, did I? Yeah, didn't mention a guy who got 3 times the goal contributions than Kudus did last season. Just prop Kudus up. That's all you need to do. Don't push a player down to prop someone. Just prop him up. You're allowed to. You're allowed to say, hey, I think that guy's a really good player. Finish. So there we go. But look, so really, really good stuff today. Obviously, breaking news, Kudus is coming to Spurs. Medical will take place tomorrow. Okay? Mate, I don't give a flying monkeys about Brennan Johnson beating his man. And I'm not lying. How about you just be a normal person, prop Kudus up, and don't bring Brennan Johnson into it? I don't get why you need to attack a player for no reason. It's nothing to do with him. Prop a player up, like a player. Don't put someone down. It's super boring that we seem to be toxic like this. I'm sorry, Surendra. I know you've been a person on this channel for a while. I'm not in the business of putting a player down to prop someone else up. I'm not interested. Guaranteed no matter who we sign, there'll be people that won't be happy. Well, I mean, there you go. Prime example, Indiana. Hope you're all right. But look, some really good stuff. Yes, Kudus, medical agreed, booked for tomorrow. Hopefully we see the promo stuff and him holding his shirt on Friday. Goes into the weekend where, hey, you've signed your marquee guy, 9th of July. That is still some efficiency. But if you speak to some people, maybe it's not. But I still think that's efficiency. You haven't gone away on tour yet. He can start training next week. We haven't really started training that much this week, so that's good. Obviously, on Romero, on obviously, the left back situation, on Wissa. Let me know your thoughts down below. I appreciate you all kicking about. I'm going to go and eat because I'm absolutely starving. Steampunk, how are you, dude? I'm starving, so I'm going to go and eat. I really appreciate you kicking about and listening to me for nearly half an hour. Go look after yourselves. Please enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy the sun if you're in England, and if you're abroad, hope you have the most amazing mornings ever. I'll speak to you all very soon. Take care. Peace.